everyone, so I'm back again with another video. This time around I have part 6, the final part of my PS1 collection update video series. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys all the games I have from S to Y. Pretty much the last set, of course, of PS1 games that I have in my current collection. What can I say? All the other parts are already posted by the time that you're seeing this one here, so go check out those ones as well. I think I had about 20 video games per video, so in 6 parts, that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, about 120, maybe a little bit more, a little less, can't really remember at this moment. But about 120 games in total in my PS1 collection. So let's get to part 6. So the first 2 games I have here are both from the same series. I probably should have held on to one game from the last video to include here because it is the first one in the series. But to try to balance out the length of the videos, I thought, well, kind of have to leave that one out. The 2 games I have here are Siphon Filter 2 and Siphon Filter 3. Both of those are third-person sort of action / stealth kind of shooters, I suppose. I haven't really played them myself, but I should get around to them at some point. There are even Siphon Filter games on the PS2 and PSP, so it was definitely a series that was well received enough to last for such a long time, so I should probably actually give it the time of day. The next game here is Tecmo's Deception. This is the first one on the series, and they recently released, when I say recently, actually I think it's probably almost 2 years at this point, they released a sequel to this game. I think it was either 3 or 4 that they released for the PS3, and in this game you pretty much choose who dies and who lives. You set up traps and stuff like that in this house trying to kill different characters in the game, and it's pretty graphic for its time. Next game here, a lot less graphic and family friendly, 10-Pin Alley, just a pretty basic bowling game with weird looking characters. The next set of games here are all from the same series. You have Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider 2, and Tomb Raider 3, The Adventures of Lara Croft. Haven't actually played either of these ones. I've played the first one, and I played, I believe, one of them on the PS2, but I have not been a massive fan of Tomb Raider. I've tried to get more into it, and I am planning on picking up the most recent one as well. Not the sort of multiplayer puzzle platforming game, but the proper Tomb Raider game, like the newest one. Not too sure what it's called exactly, but I'll get it eventually if it's cheap enough. Next game here is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the first one. I actually never played the first one. The one that I played the most was actually 3 and 4. Those 2 were definitely games that I played a lot of, but the first one, not so much. The next 2 games here I'll include together because they're both from the same property and the same company. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, and Toy Story Racer. Now this one I did play a lot, and I did enjoy this one here. What can I say? I like Toy Story. I grew up with it. I was the right age for it when it came out, and I do like cartoony racers. But as for Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, have not really played this one here. And this one here, if I remember correctly, this one here, I think you just fight random enemies and stuff like that as Buzz Lightyear. But this time around, he has actual abilities and stuff like that. Next game here, Touring Car Challenge, just a sort of realistic racing game. Next up is a sports game, Triple Play 98, just baseball. Next two games here are both from the same series, Twisted Metal and Twisted Metal 2. Now, these ones here, I have played them, but not that much. The Twisted Metal game that I've personally played the most is on the PSP, and I think it was Twisted Metal Head On. And I think that was also ported to the PS2, but I played that Twisted Metal game the most. Absolutely love that one, but the rest of them are still okay. Of course, the graphics haven't aged too well going on through the years, but they're still acceptable. The next game here is a sequel to a pretty decent game. It's not a direct sequel, but the characters are still unlockable in the game. It's Jammer Lammy. It's just a rhythm-based game that's a follow-up to Parappa the Rapper. But of course, Parappa the Rapper does have a sequel to it as well. Next game here is Uprising X. If I remember anything about this, it's that, again, the landscape was kind of barren, not much to it. The colors are drab for the most part. And you're basically just, like, in this tank thing, shooting at random enemies that come your way. That's about it to it. There is multiplayer to it, but not really all that interesting. Next game here is Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Not really played this version here, but oh well. Next game here is WCW NWO Thunder. Not really a fan of wrestling games, and I honestly don't even remember how I ended up with that there. Next game, I did used to watch the show a lot, but I haven't really played this game in recent years. In fact, I think the last time I played any version of this game, it was on my iPad. The game is Wheel of Fortune with very 90s Vanna White on the cover there. Actually, I think the very last time I saw this show might even be almost a decade at this point. I really can't remember the last time I watched Wheel of Fortune, but I used to watch it like every day after school. It would play at like 4 o'clock and again at 7. The next game here, decent party trivia multiplayer game. Of course, that's what a party game really is. It's You Don't Know Jack Mach 2, so the second version of the game there. And the very last game that I have to show you guys here in this collection update video series is Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. What can I say? I really liked Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid. When I saw this game here, I saw it many times, and I did want to get it, but when I was younger, I didn't have a PS1, so I really couldn't buy this. I ended up getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on the Game Boy Color. Wasn't that much fun. Then I got the Sacred Cards, I believe it was, on the Game Boy Advance, and that one I played to hell. But over the years, I sort of lost interest in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though I still am kind of interested in it. But it's nice to have this one here as well. I do want to get all Yu-Gi-Oh! Games eventually, and see which one would be the best to play overall. I know there are a couple on the Wii and a couple on the DS and even a couple on the PSP. And I think there are a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that you can download on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. But I don't think I'm going to play any of those anytime soon. If anything, I'm going to get back to this one here and possibly the one I have on the GameCube. Those are two that I did intend to play more of, but for whatever reason, I never got around to playing them all that much. But that's it. That's the end of my PS1 video game collection update series, part 6 there. If you haven't seen all the other parts, again, just check them out on my channel. They're all in a playlist together with all my other collection update videos. Check out those ones as well if you'd like. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and website. They're all linked in the description below. And also linked in the description below is a link to my 500 subscribers contest. Sorry about that. Check that out as well if you'd like. And that's it. See ya.